Hello everyone and welcome to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here, the final show, Season 1, Revolution 2022. I don't like how few people that brought in. Oh well. Pre-show Battle Royales, just to get people on the card. Just get people on the card. The show proper begins with Garza Jr. defeating Orange Cassidy with an El Muertito. Garza still doing well as TNT champion. After this, a short video package plays showing New Japan's show from last night, in particular the IWGP United States title match between Yuji Nagata and Jeff Cobb, which Nagata won. However, due to the IWGP US title match already being booked for the show, it is announced that Nagata will be in a triple threat later tonight for the US title with Will Ospreay and Jeff Cobb. So yeah, literally yesterday in game, Yuji Nagata won the US title, so I'm just gonna make it a triple threat. Kana defeats Ham's Katana. They don't click at all. Oh well. Following the match, Kana sits on the top turnbuckle as Morgan Daniels presents Hams with Goku, the stuffed pig. Hams is very happy about this, and Kana soon after leaves as Hams celebrates with Morgan and Goku in the ring. She then rushes out of the ring and hugs Kana, who's still incredibly confused by them, but the older Joshi walks the two young competitors out of the ring with her. A nice wholesome end to the story. Hams gets her lovely stuffed pig back. After this, the Briscoes defeat Proud and Powerful with the Redneck Boogie. So the Briscoes win the World Tag Team titles. So good showing by the Briscoes, bringing a title back to Team Taz. After the Scorpio Sky defeats Dalton Castle with the Fatal Answer, as Priscilla Kelly came in and interfered to attack Dalton Castle. Yeah, Bullet Club got involved. Scorpio Sky wins the FTW title. After this, Adam Cole defeats Jeff Hardy. And good cinematic match. I'll get to the explanation in here. The entire battle for the Hardy compound is just a massive action scene. It's really well put together. You know, members of the Hardy compound defense are just constantly brawling with members of the cult. Doesn't matter if they're an unnamed person or someone that actually, is named. Fireworks are attached to a bunch of drones that are just flying around. They're firing off at cultists. Devon Dudley, who for a while was just like commanding forces on the front lines, he's telling people, hey, go over there. There's people that side. He eventually gets just tons of fireworks are shot at him, and he ends up falling into the Lake of Reincarnation. When he comes back, he is Devon, not just Devin Dudley. He has the glasses. And he starts fighting, because I actually have convinced Devon to come out of retirement. So this is his introduction to being back in matches, which is nuts. The match ends when, at the porch of the main building, Jeff Hardy tries to do a swanton bomb off of the roof of the porch to Adam Cole, but he's caught by Bruiser Sheridan, who chokeslams Hardy through the porch. Cole beats up Jeff Hardy a little bit more, but that was really the final straw, and Cole eventually pins Jeff Hardy. And afterwards, Adam Cole looks ready to head into the door to the main building, but eventually he actually decides against it and calls the cultists off as they all leave the Hardy compound. I actually kind of like this. It's a ridiculous scene. This is a full-blown action scene. You have all these people are involved in it. All these different wrestlers are involved in it, and it just eventually ends with, this big climactic finish, and Adam Cole's just like, you know what, I don't even want this place. So he leaves. After this, the Bullet Club actually defeat the Elite Bucks. So yeah, AJ Styles pins Nick Jackson with a phenomenal forearm. Really, oh my lord, 95 by Coda? Ratings-wise, definitely the wrong team won. I knew that from the beginning that the Bullet Club were going to get the worst ratings, but good lord. It's for the story, though. Then... Okay. That's our best match by, like, 5 points. CM Punk defeats MJF in just under half an hour with a Pepsi plunge. Yeah, this was an epic match. Low heat. Low heat. But still, CM Punk, what a debut. In the, like, real world, he debuted against Darby Allin. It was a good match for sure, but, you know, again, this is still in Chicago, Wrigley Field. Don't worry about the logistics of being in an outsourced stadium, or outside stadium, pretty close to Lake Michigan in late February. It's fine. And good, I can't get over 87 rating. Good lord. After the match, CM Punk collapses to his knees, and he takes in the cheers from the crowd over his first match back. Eventually gets to a turnbuckle and loudly shouts, "I'm back, baby." CM Punk just real happy to be here. He's happy to be back in Chicago, winning in the best match AEW's ever put on. After this, Yuji Nagata defends his title after submitting Will Ospreay with the inverted figure 4. Ricochet actually attacked Ospreay. We'll get to that explanation in a moment. Really good showing. This match would have been way better if we didn't have to deal with the fact that Yuji Nagata had won the title the day before. This probably could have been like a 78, if I had to guess. So, halfway through the match, Ricochet came out with Antonio Banks, and Ricochet's conflicted about seeing his former rival in the ring, fighting for the US title. As the match nears its end, however, Ricochet, he's getting closer to ringside, and Will eventually hits him and Jeff Cobb with a Tope Con Hiro. After Ospreay rushes into the ring, getting ready to hit a finishing move on Yuji Nagata, Ricochet, he quickly slides in, and he hits Ospreay with a Hurricane Rana, followed by a Springboard Shooting Star Press. Nagata then locks in his inverted figure 4. Ospreay has no choice but to tap out, and Ricochet just stares down Ospreay as Yuji Nagata leaves with the IWGP US title. That's right, we're having Ricochet versus Will Ospreay in AEW. I hate Will Ospreay as a person, but the matches between him and Ricochet were just so good, we really can't go against it. After this, Brody Lee and The Vision defeat Jurassic Express and Brock Lesnar. Brody pins Jungle Boy with a big boot. Pretty good performances by everyone, really. So as the match neared its end, the Dark Order began to come out and caused some havoc. While they didn't directly interfere, they distracted, and they were enough of a distraction for the team that sided with Paul Heyman to lose. And afterwards, Heyman is very upset about this, and he looks ready, like, he almost has a look on his face. He wants to fire the Dark Order. But he doesn't. He just pulls Brock aside. He doesn't care about Jurassic Express, and just is like, alright, this isn't over between us. We're fine. So the Dark Order finally pulling their own weight after a year and a half of them not doing anything because of my booking. Mayu then defeats Britt Baker. Mayu's so good. But after the match, Mayu helps up Britt Baker to her feet. Congratulations on our great performance. But as she's doing that, a new debut's music plays, and the Tron shows the words, Io Shirai. The reigning Women's Wrestler of the Year steps out onto the stage, staring Mayu down. The champion and Io just begin to yell words at each other in Japanese, and they get into a shouting contest in their native language, before Io eventually smiles, shrugs, and heads backstage, and Io Shirai is all elite. Io is so good. And it's marketable, and better psychology. Oh man, Io is so good. She is actually the reigning Women's Wrestler of the Year. Last year it was Kana. Now we have Io Shirai, the 2021 Women's Wrestler of the Year. Now in AEW. I'd say that our women's division's pretty good, but I still want to build up its depth. It's very top-heavy still. We have Mayu, Io, and Kana. Those three, I mean, that's a really, really good division in and of itself, but I want to build up more people. One, because Mayu isn't originally WWE, but Io and Kana, you can definitely make the argument, oh, they're just WWE people. So I really want to build up more people. Jordan Gray's Big Swole, those ones are kind of two big targets. Diona Tanil, Anna J, Tay Conti, Utami. There's a lot of people that I really want to build up. Still a work in progress, though, but this is a very solid, definitely one thing that I feel like I've done well with, even if a lot of my stories have been very stop and start. I feel like I've done really well with getting a good women's division, and actually paying attention to the women's division, but not difficult to do that when you have Kana and Mayu on your team. After this, Chris Jericho, bit of a cool down match as he defeats Charles Betts. Then Dustin actually gets a bit of a surprise win, defeating Cody. And after the match is done, Dustin lifts up Cody enough to hug him, to share a moment together. Dustin happy that his career isn't over, and Cody happy that he didn't have to end the career of his brother. Just a very sweet, touching moment. I believe this is right before our main event. Yes, it is. As Pac loses his AEW world title to Adam Page, despite outscoring him by 14 points. Page is your AEW world champion that scores us an 83. I want to say that's our best show, but I'm not actually sure. But we're definitely moving up in the world. I mean, that's a very nice performance. One I'm more than happy with. So I'm just really hoping that I actually go through with some of the promises that I'm making, not only to you guys, all 5 of you watching, but also to myself, of doing stuff good with Season 2. But this is a very good way to end off Season 1 of AEW, and next time, things may be, well, they might look a little bit similar, but they're going to be different. Move on to Season 2.